Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you clicked on today's video because today we've got a very important topic to talk about, and that is why you should never ever give up on your goals and your dreams. I mean never ever. Even if you're thinking about it, right now, even if you've been thinking about it for the last few days. Before we start, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Em and I love talking about topics like self-improvement, self-growth and self-love. And every video of mine is built up on 3 questions that we're going to go through together. And those 3 questions for today are: what to give up instead of your goals? Am I capable of achieving my goals? What now? Let's get right into it by answering the first question on what to actually change and what to give up on then, if we're not supposed to get up on our goals. So I get it. I've had this thought of giving up on my goals, like any kind of goal that I've ever set myself, so many times. I kept doubting myself and I thought, I'm not meant for this and I'm not capable of doing this. Maybe I'm just not good enough to do this. Maybe I don't want the goal enough anymore because I'm not getting anywhere. Maybe I should try something else, or this is maybe just not the right thing for me. And it was always super frustrating, and the amount of times that I felt like giving up and thought, you know what, I just can't do this anymore, I'm just going to drop it. The amount of times I had that thought, like I've lost count. But the problem with whenever I thought about this was that I always thought that there was something wrong with my goal, that the goal was the problem. But the day I thought that maybe not the goal is the problem, but the way that I approach it, that's when everything changed. That's when I was like, maybe I do still have the chance to achieve this. Even though nothing's working out right now, maybe I do still have the chance to get to my goal. Because maybe not the goal is the problem, but the way that I'm going there, the way I think that I get there. Because we are often so fixed on the way that we go there, that must be the right way, because I've been doing this all along, it has to work this way, everyone seems to be doing this, and there's only this one right way to do it. When actually there are so many ways to get to your goal, but you're so fixed on that one thing, on that one path, that you can't even see the other ways. You can't even acknowledge and see the other ways that there are to get to your goal. And we are so fixed on this that we cling on to it with like everything that we have. We put all our entire energy into this one path and this one approach that we are unable to open our vision. Like we have like this tunnel vision into, I have to achieve this and this is the only way I can do it. That if we just opened it up a bit, if we just widened our horizon a bit, we could see all the different ways that we could go about it. And I promise there are so many ways if we just tried. I believe it takes some kind of, you have to be a bit brave to do this. You have to be a bit brave to think, okay, maybe the way I'm going about this isn't working, and maybe the way I'm doing it is wrong. Maybe I could try from a different way. If I could try to look at it from a different perspective and try a different path, a different approach to it, maybe then I'll get to it. Often when we think about our goals, we think maybe the goal isn't the right thing, maybe there's something wrong with the goal. But I believe that if most goals that we have, they have values of ourselves, the values that are important to us. So we shouldn't give up on the goal because those goals are our values. That's what's important to us. For example, if we want to be a doctor, it's our value to help people. If we want to be a business owner, then it's our value to be financially free. If you want to be a content creator or an artist, it's your goal to inspire others. So there's never anything wrong with the goal because those are your true personal values. And that's not something that you're supposed to give up on. You're not supposed to give up on your values. You're supposed to try to get there from a different way, from a different path, from a different approach. And if the day you start and give yourself the chance and give yourself the permission to try differently and give up on the ways that you've kept trying, because that does take a lot of courage to give up on the way you've been trying and try from a different way, start from a different path, even if it's unknown. And the fact that it's unknown is probably most scary about it. If the day you start and the day you try and allow yourself to do that, that's when I believe everything's going to change. When you allow yourself to go, take a little approach, then you get to see and try new things And then you'll get a lot closer to your goal than by just trying this one fixed path that's clearly not getting anywhere. However, I do have to say that if your goal does not go according to the values you have now, because your values have changed, or if working on the goal and the whole goal itself is constantly making you unhappy, that is when you should maybe change the goal. But if the idea of the goal does still excite you, and the goal does sort of go according to your values, you should please never, ever, ever give up on your goals and your dreams, no matter what anybody tells you. Because they're supposed to be your values and your dreams and your life, not anybody else's. So let's move on to the second question, and that is, am I capable of achieving this? And the short answer is, of course you are. Of course you are capable of achieving your goals. Of course you are capable of achieving anything you put your mind to if you consistently put the work in, and if you believe in yourself and you try over and over and over again, no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times somebody tells you that you're not capable of doing it. If you try and try and try and not give up, you're capable of doing anything. I know that we all tend to doubt ourselves. I personally doubt myself all the time. Even today, this morning, I knew I was gonna film today, and I thought, you know what, maybe what I put out there isn't good enough, maybe the way I talk isn't good enough, maybe the way I do my videos, I edit my videos isn't good enough, maybe nobody else is gonna like it. But you know what, I'm still sitting here, I'm still filming it, and nobody's watching me, but who cares? Because I'm trying, and I'm putting in the work and the effort. You know, there are people who don't believe in me. There are people who don't just think I'm crazy and I'm out of my mind. Like, who films YouTube videos? I mean, that's so embarrassing. But I'm still here. Like, I mean, no, that might be right. It might not work out, but it might work out. And that's all I have to know. I know that if I put in the work and if I try hard enough, this whole thing can work out. Same with other goals in my life. If somebody else tells me you can't do it, but I know it goes according to my values, and if I put in the work, of course I'm going to achieve it. And I do doubt myself. I do think a lot of the times that this might not work out. There are a lot of times where I think, you know what if this doesn't work out? What if all these other goals that I have, maybe they might all not work out? But then I think, if I just try hard enough, it might just work out. It might, you know? And it's the same thing that you have to do. Maybe it will even work out even better than you think. What about that? Every time you have that negative thought of, I can't achieve it, you should replace it with, I can achieve it, and it might even work out even better than I think. Even if you fail, even if something does not work out the way you wanted it to, something you had it all planned out in your head and it's all going completely different, which happens to literally everyone, just think about all the little things that did work out. The little things that you think, okay, nothing went the way I wanted it to, but that one thing, that was actually a win. Even though I didn't notice it at first, that I promise that every single time you think you failed completely and nothing went the way I wanted it to, there's always going to be at least one thing that went the way, that did go well. And you should cheer on yourself for that. You should think, okay, I did really well at this, and nothing went well, but that one thing actually, I am proud of myself for that one little win that I had today. Even if the whole day was a disaster, you think, that one situation, I'll think about that one situation because that was a good situation. And if you cheer on yourself like that and you focus on all those little wins that you have all the time, because I promise you make wins every single day. One day more wins than other days, but every single day there's going to be at least one win that you have. And I want you to focus on those wins because that will uplift you. And if you can cheer on yourself, you don't need anybody else to cheer on you. You are supposed to be your biggest fan. And yes, I promise you are capable of that. I'm your fan, okay? But you have to be your number one fan. And you have to know that you're capable of it because you are. If you can focus on the things that you did achieve, then you can think, okay, I might be capable of it, because you have to convince yourself that you're capable of it. I mean, I can say how I can tell you that you're capable of it, but that doesn't help you if you don't believe it. So you have to think of all the things that you did well that went up today. You have to think about all the things that you did do well today and that did go well, and show yourself, okay, I am capable of this because I managed to do this and this and this and this, and uplift yourself that way. It works wonders, really. I promise. And that brings us to the third question, and that is, what now? Be brave enough to try another way. Think about what would happen if I tried differently than I did today, yesterday, the last few days, the last few weeks, months, years? What if I tried a different approach? How would that change my outcome? Could it change my outcome? Could it have a positive outcome? And what could that other way look like? Because clearly sticking to your current approach isn't really getting you anywhere. It takes courage to do this, but sticking to a path that's not getting you anywhere is just going to make you more and more frustrated, and it will lead to you giving up on your goal. And when you try something, when you try that new approach, start with small steps. Start with small steps that you're capable of doing and that are realistic to do. Because oftentimes when we set ourselves new goals, we set ourselves a whole bunch of things. Like, for example, you know the amount of times that I've set myself the goal to have 10,000 steps, eat no more crab, work out 4 times a week, and that all from tomorrow, Monday, because, you know, tomorrow I'm a new person with a whole new personality and a whole new life. Yeah, that probably, if anything, that lasted for a week, and then it was over. Then the whole plan, it overwhelmed me. It was way too much. I couldn't do it. I just gave up on it. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Setting yourself small, achievable goals will make you feel less overwhelmed, because if you have small steps that you can take, you'll have more wins that you can also then celebrate again, because it's so important to celebrate yourself and celebrate and be your biggest fan, because that will encourage you so much, and you'll be able to go a lot further when you're your own fan. You can stand behind yourself. Then, you know what, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Keep trying, and keep trying to try other ways as well, and keep trying to explore, actually, because we should be just less hard on ourselves. I think that's what it comes down to, is that oftentimes we're just so hard on ourselves that we have to stay fixed when this one way of doing it, and we have to do a whole bunch of things all at once. We should just be less hard on ourselves and let ourselves be a beginner again, and try it over again. However many times it takes, you might not work out the second way, it might not be the third path that you try, but eventually you'll find the path and you'll eventually get to the goal. It might work by the second time, it might not, you know, but just keep believing in yourself and keep believing in your abilities and celebrating those small wins. When you try another way and there's like a little thing that worked out really well, then you have to cheer on yourself and be happy for yourself and think, wow, I really did well today. I tried something and it worked out, and I'm really proud of myself. We should say that a lot more often, I believe. We should say that a lot more often. And I think that's a nice way to end today's video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you're not going to give up on your goals, because you're amazing, and you are capable of doing that. I know that, and I think deep down you know that as well. I think deep down you know that you are capable of doing it. And yeah, that's it for today. And let me know down below in the comments which other videos and other topics you'd like me to talk about. And yeah, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to not miss out on any more videos. And I shall see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.